Konnichiwa.
Right on schedule.
Bandidos, I have 2 shotgun builds perfectly optimized for the Golden Bullet event that you need to run right now. They're extremely tanky and can one-shot elites and named bosses, even with global directives activated. This one is my favorite of the 2 builds.
Let's read.
Hunter's Fury with 1.5 million armor that can one-tap elites, even with all of that. And the bonus armor you get off of this is really crazy. Now, I am running the KSG shotgun. So again, this build is highly tailored to the global event. And there's a particular reason why I'm running this KSG shotgun. So let me tell you exactly why. Normally with these types of builds, you want to go with something very strong. And the, I guess, most common is the military M870 that you see people running out there a lot. As you can tell from this comparison that the M870 and the KSG shotgun both have about 74, 75 RPMs, and the damage is actually not that different. The M870 is a little bit stronger, but the KSG shotgun has more damage inside that mag. It's got 12 rounds in the mag compared to the M870 that only has 5. So the M870 can sometimes get you in trouble because the NPCs are really good at getting you to miss a shot or two, or where all of your pellets will just sort of clip the enemy. You won't get a clean shot on them, so they won't die, and that forces you into a reload position where the KSG shotgun has so many extra rounds in the mag. You can miss a few shots, and it's really rare to get caught in a reload situation. Now, normally we run pummel on these, but for the global event, Golden Bullet, we want to make sure the build really synergizes with that. So auto reload from pummel is not necessary. You can still run it, but it's just not necessary because the Golden Bullet reloads the weapon. So this 12 mag KSG shotgun's got 4.8 or 6.8 second reload, the one on the right. That's actually a horrible reload time, but that's because it's got 12 rounds. So, but we're not worried about that because every time we get a kill while we have that Golden Bullet activated, we're going to get auto reloading happening here. The KSG shotgun is not God rolled, but it's still one tapping named bosses, so it's amazing. Now, I decided to go close up personal because that's how we're playing. So within 7 meters, we can get 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Outside of this event, I normally run pummel on this shotgun, and I love it. I do have a God roll run here on the left. You see that with pummel? Every 3 kills, we'll reload the mag and also give you 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. So let's start with the Hunter's Fury. So running 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. Fury, and of course that's for the 15% shotgun damage, the 20% armor on kill, which is all you need, and then Apex Predator, which is giving us 20% amplified damage. But more importantly, any enemy standing inside that kill zone is going to be disorientated when we kill one of them, and that allows us to chain kill or to reload or do whatever we have to do. We can then stack our kills by killing an enemy with the debuff, which is going to give us another 5% amplified damage by 5, so 5 by 5 there. So that's a ton of amplified damage. Now here's the formula. We got armor, headshot damage, and more headshot damage. The gloves are exactly the same, and if we take a quick peek at the holster, it looks exactly the same. And then of course the knee pads with weapon damage and headshot damage. So there's our 4 pieces. The chest piece is actually pretty important, so I decided to go with Providence, and the reason why is that's giving me more headshot damage. I have weapon damage, headshot damage, weapon handling, which helps, and then a 13% protection from elites mod. So a Headhunter requires 150% headshot damage on your build in order for you to get to the max damage cap of 1,250% of the previous damage blow. So that's your killing power, and that's going to give us almost 7 million crit on the head per pellet. That's right, per pellet. And that's why we're able to one-tap named bosses and elites with heroic content, and even Ragers. Ragers makes those enemies actually tankier, and we're still one-tapping them. Now, I decided to go with 13% protection from elites because we didn't need any more headshot damage. So if you see here, we're at the cap of 150% headshot damage. We don't have any crits. This is not a crit build. And the headshot damage makes the build a little bit more efficient for me. I have armor damage and amplified damage, tons of amplified damage on this build. So I'm not worried about anything else. But that 13% protection from elites is what that's doing, is it's extending, it's protecting our bonus armor. It makes our bonus armor last a little bit longer. Now, the memento is really, really important. The reason why I'm actually running it is because I want that 30% weapon damage when we're fully stacked. That doesn't get disabled when we take damage like Vigilance does. Now, Vigilance, if you decided to go that way, it's perfectly fine, and your shield will protect you a little bit, but you will see in the gameplay footage that we take lots of damage from the back, and I'm so okay with that because I got 1.5 million armor on this build. But a single trophy is giving me 40% bonus armor, 10% per blue core, and we got 4 of those. So 40% bonus armor, and we're stacking those trophies. So our armor is 2 million plus. It goes crazy. It goes really crazy. I don't even know. And then it's also, all of this stuff is making our shield stronger. We got skill efficiency and a tankier shield. As you can see, I'm running Firewall. That is primarily for this striker shield, which is the real reason why I'm running it, is because it's giving me 12% more damage bonus per enemy standing in front of me, and we're standing in front of big groups of enemies, so that's a lot of damage. Also, it is a tier 5 shield, so this thing is actually relatively strong. So if you see here on the defensive side of things, we got 1.5 million armor. That's 20% armor on kill. We got 3% armor regen. It's not showing up because I don't have trophies. And then we got the 13% protection from elites. In this event, because of the major damage bonus from the golden bullet, that's what allows us to run 1.5 million armor. But you will see in the gameplay that we are still one-tapping or 1-2-tap with 1.5 million armor. And that's because Hunter's Fury and this combination of this shotgun is really strong. Without the golden bullet, you can still accomplish chain killing. But you can go crits on this build. It does also work with crits. Enjoy this build. It's my favorite of the two. Reload. So stay there. I got you. Nice. Good timing, huh? There are very few tip of spear builds I like, and this 1.8 million armor tank build is one of them. That's because it can one-tap chain kill elites and pick up 1.1 million in bonus armor from a single memento trophy on kill. I made it in the build lab on Twitch, where all my builds are made and tested live with the community in unedited gameplay. Shout out to all the banditos at Tux's Players Club for supporting the channel and the Division 2 community in all the ways that you do. To say thank you, I create extra builds like this one for Tux's Players Club as member perks. You can find all of your member perks in this playlist at the top of my channel homepage. Make sure your notifications are turned on too. If you're not part of Tux's Players Club, it's time you join this strong, positive community. Link here in the corner and in the description area below. Me and you, Honcho. This is basically built and tailored around the ACS or rock and roll. You could go either way. In the end, we ended up going with the rock and roll because I found that the reloading was sometimes getting me killed when we were kind of sort of jumping in the middle of mobs and we didn't have the golden bullet active. And then damage to targets out of cover and damage to armor, you do want those. Now, if you don't have the rock and roll, then just use the regular ACS 12. It worked great, actually, and we ran it with Killer. Go ahead and put damage to targets out of cover if you have the option. This is the only one I have. So one is necessarily not better than the other, but when you don't have the golden bullet, Killer is the better way to go, probably. Now, this is based on a 4-piece Hunter's Fury. Now, I think that the chest piece was kind of a really good way to go, and that's because it's giving you the benefit of Endless Hunger, which extends the Apex Predator stacks, which is the amplified damage, from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. So you get, from this, you're getting the 15% shotgun damage, 20% armor on kill, which is definitely keeping us alive, and then Apex Predator, which is really important. Every time we get a kill, we're stacking up 5% amp damage times 5 times, and then we're holding on to it for 30 seconds. So I got crit damage here and crit chance, and then I have it on the armor core. So we are at 1.5 million total armor, but I think you could go with more armor and still survive. But when you don't have the golden bullet, you might feel a little underpowered. The holster is the same. It's got armor and crit chance, and the gloves are armor and crit damage. And then the mask has got weapon damage with double crit chance. And then we decided to go with the Fox's Prey or knee pads for that additional multiplier of damage to targets out of cover. And then because this is an out of cover run and gun build, the bonus armor off the memento is just invaluable. So you got all the armor on kill that you need. 20% armor on kill is plenty because you're chain killing basically with this thing. And when you got that golden bullet, it's amazing, right? You got all the power you need. So you are getting 30% weapon damage. They can't disable, so that's great. We get the armor regen. It's all about the bonus armor. It allows us to kind of move or stand in front of big groups of enemies. We just have to take out one of them. So that's 40% bonus armor off a single kill, plus 20% regular armor off of that same kill. So we're really getting an effective 60% armor. There you have it. So we are running firewall, and mostly I'm running it because we want that striker shield, so we get that 12% additional damage bonus per enemy standing in front of us. And this is a tier 5 shield, and then you get that 20% armor on kill, and then you get the bonus armor, and then you have the regen healing underneath all of that. So that's, we are running a crit build, so we're at 56% crit chance, 68% crit damage. That is the build. This build has 1.8 million armor, can drop elites in a single shot, and pick up trophies for 1.1 million in bonus armor. Try it.
Follow me.